getting me from, and welcome to Impact Dialogues. My name is Ruth Wanjiru, and today is a new day for fresh perspectives, a new day to dive deep into our headlines, a new day to what is happening in our country. And of course, today is World Down Syndrome Day, so it's also a new day to create awareness for that. I will tell you about that in just a short while, but it is my pleasure to have you with me this morning on the Impact Dialogues. We are live on YouTube as well, the Oracle Television Network. We are live right here on Oracle TV. You can also go ahead and follow us on our social media pages. You can follow me at Ruth Wanjiru on Facebook, Twitter, everywhere. But today we have a great show lined up for you. It is Friday. It's Power Friday, right? So you have a great show lined up for you. You have our newspaper review coming in, and in our newspapers, I think we have quite interesting headlines today, because yesterday the head of state reshuffled his government a little bit. We have new appointed ones. We have new the state departments created. Apart from that, we have new faces in the government as well, where there are some that we are not going to be seeing as much. They are still in the government, but we're not going to be seeing them as much. That is one of the most interesting stories on today's headlines. We will dive deep into that and get to see what is happening. But I want you to check in right now and tell me, where are you watching me from? Where are you getting me from? Say hi, say good morning, and so that we can go together in this. I want to give you our weather updates and traffic updates, because I want us to make sure that Leo we get to each and every topic. Now, after the newspaper review, I have, by the way, for the newspaper review, I have a panel with me. I have two gentlemen coming in to help me dive deep into the newspapers, to help me demystify, or rather to help me decode what our editors have written for us today. I will be having Gideon. You'll be seeing him here, and I'll be having Philip. In just a while, we are going to invite them for that particular session. But do not miss our second session. Our second session is special today. Why is it special? Because today is World Down Syndrome Day. Now, maybe it's the first time you're hearing about Down syndrome. Now, Down syndrome is a condition. I will tell you about it in just a bit. And so today they are celebrating awareness. So the day is marked every 21st March of the year, and it's actually funny why they decided to call it 21st March, to mark the date on 21st March. I will tell you more details about that as well. But the thing is, they always mark the day today on 21st March each and every year, and the day is just meant to create awareness for Down syndrome, because it is a condition, and also it is it is good to show love. So I will tell you more about it. If you don't know about Down syndrome, do not worry. We are going to have a parent who has a child with a Down syndrome to help us talk about awareness, talk about the experience of having a child with Down syndrome, the experience as a parent, the challenges, the joys, because not everything is a challenge. I am very sure there's a part that is joy somewhere. So we are going to be joined by David. He will come and help us talk about Down syndrome awareness. So you see, we have a lot of things lined up for you, insightful conversations. So make sure that you do not miss any part of Impact Dialogues today. Now, my number is right there on your screen, 0711 176 006. You can call me on that number. You can text me on that number. You can also WhatsApp me on that number. Tell me your thoughts about today's headlines. I don't know if you've seen it, but if you've seen it, now my question of the day comes from the reshuffle of the president reshuffle, the recent reshuffle that he did yesterday. And so today I'm asking, how do you feel about the reshuffle? How do you feel about the reshuffle? You tell me, 0711 176 006. How do you feel about that reshuffle? Do you think it's going to change much? Do you think things are going to change because of it? I would like to hear your opinion on that. 0711 176 006. That is my WhatsApp number. Make sure that you WhatsApp me right there. Make sure you also text me right there, and also say good morning. It is nice to start the day with a good morning, right? It is good to say hi to someone, and say hi to me as well. Wish me a wonderful weekend. But anyway, other than that, I want us to get into our did you what happened today in the history. I wanted to read the weather update first, but let's start with what happened today in history. So today is on 21st March, right? And now I found two very interesting events that happened today on 21st March. And one of them is actually interesting. One of them is actually something that we use each and every day. So that is number one. Did you know that on March 21st, 2006, Twitter was launched for the first time? Did you know that? That Twitter was launched for the first time. Right now, we don't call it Twitter anymore, by the way. We call it X. Ilibadilishwa jina just a few, years ago. But it was launched on March 21st, that is 2006, and so it was launched at right now. I don't think anyone is not on Twitter. I think most Twitter wars happen there, and if you don't know about Twitter, then probably you are not social media person as well. That is where the hashtags it came from. So today on March 21st, Twitter was officially launched, and the platform would later come to transform global communication. So originally, this is interesting. So originally, it was created as a side project at a company called Odeo, and the co-founders, that is Jack Dorsey and also Bisson and Evan Williams, developed Twitter as a microblogging site. Okay, so they didn't think that it would become this big. So it was a microblogging site where users could share short updates, limited to 140 characters. Now, the first ever tweet posted was by Jack Dorsey, of course, one of the co-founders. And this is what he tweeted: just setting up my Twitter. Okay, so it started as a small idea and quickly grew into a powerful tool for news, activism, and public discourse. And I think it has been widely used because as of now, 1 million hashtags go viral on Twitter. If you want to know what is trending, what is happening, you just go on Twitter. That is where the term KOT came from. And for those of you who are online gurus, you know that there's a saying that goes, KOT never forgives. They know why they never forgive, because they drive the hashtag, and so over the years, Twitter has become, an instrumental, platform in shaping political movements. Remember the Gen Z movement? It all started in Twitter, and amplifying voices and also reporting real-time global events. Now, from breaking news to viral trends, the platform plays a crucial role, in modern digital conversations. Now, despite numerous changes and challenges, Twitter remains one of the most influential social media and social media networks, proving power of short, impactful messages. Today, as we look back on its founding, we recognize its impact in the world like never before. And I mean, this is amazing. Actually, I was so much interested in this because it is something that we use each and every day for those of us who love social media. But that is what happened today in history on March 21st, 2006. Twitter was launched. But that is not the only special thing that happened today. Something else that happened today, actually, I think leo tu ni siku ya vitu tamu tamu. So did you know that on March 21st, 1990, Namibia officially gained its independence from South Africa after decades, of colonial rules and struggle. Now, this marked the end of a century foreign control, first under the German and also later under the South African administration. So in Namibia today, they are celebrating their Independence Day because apparently today on March 21st, there's like a video I had prepared for you. My producer will be putting that for you so you can see their soldiers back then. I happened to come across it and I just had to put it out there. But today in Namibia, they are celebrating their Independence Day because they got their independence on March 21st. Now, some of the key factors that led to their independence was, of course, the SWAPO rules. That is the Southwest Africa People Organization. That was the main organization that led to its independence. It was led by Sam Nujoma, who later became the first president of Namibia. And also there was also UN involvement. The United Nations helped oversee the transition through the UN resolution that is to free elections. That is in 1989. So the first president I've told you was Sam Nujoma after winning. So Independence Day is celebrated on March 21st. Each and every year. So those are two things that happened today in history, and they are interesting. You have to agree with me that they are very interesting. Number one, Twitter was launched on March 21st, 2006. Number two, Namibia got its independence on March 21st, 1990. So I think happy Independence Day to all the Namibians. Happy Independence Day. Ours, we always celebrate, and we always have this nice show off of what our aircrafts do, what our landcrafts do, of different departments here and there. I actually would like to see how Namibia celebrates their Independence Day. You tell me what you think about our today in history, or if you know anything. Unajua unaweza kuwa unajua kitu hapo na mimi sijui. If you know anything that is special that happened today on 21st of March in history, you are welcome. You're so welcome to tell me about that, okay? But going to our weather review today. How does our weather look like? Let me check that for us, how our weather look like. Today Nairobi is sunny. It's not that cold, right? It's not that cold kama juzi. Juzi tulinyeshewa, but anyway. So in Nairobi, Kenya, right now we are ranging at 63 degrees Celsius. It's mostly cloudy, but through the day there's going to be a blend of sunshine and clouds with a thunderstorm, okay? With highs of 80 degrees Celsius and lows of 63 degrees Celsius. Then in Kisumu, the Fish County, it is partly sunny right now. Looks like you guys are enjoying some good sun out there. So right now we are at 68 degrees Celsius, but over the day, expect considerable clouds this morning. Obviously, the intervals of clouds and sunshine in the afternoon with a thunderstorm in 1 or 2 spots, okay? So be prepared for that. There's going to be highs of 84 degrees Celsius and lows of 67 degrees Celsius. Now in Nakuru County, the county of flamingos, okay, right now it's clouds and sun. Looks like you guys are enjoying a little bit of sun. So it's currently 57 degrees Celsius. So today there's going to be a thunder shower in the afternoon. There's going to be a thunder shower in the afternoon, in the midday afternoon hapo, but there's also going to be a blend of sunshine and a cloud, but there might be some showers. Temperatures are ranging at 78 degrees Celsius highs and lows of 57 degrees Celsius. That is in Nakuru. Let's look at Kitale County. What is Kitale famously known for? If you're in Kitale, tell me what your county is famously known for. But looking at the weather today, Kitale looks nice. It's going to be partly sunny, mostly cloudy through the day with a couple of showers, okay? Expect some showers and a thunderstorm this afternoon, but the temperatures are ranging at 78 degrees Celsius highs and lows of 56 degrees Celsius. That is in Kitale County. Wajir County is looking nice, clouds and sun. I think if there's a county that enjoys sun, is Wajir. But there's going to be a couple of morning showers kidogo too, and considerable clouds through the day. The temperatures 93 degrees Celsius with lows of 77 degrees Celsius. That is in Wajir. And of course, let me check Meru County. Just give me a minute. Meru County. Let's see how your weather is looking. Meru, what is Meru known for? Also text me and tell me what Meru is known for. And I see Meru is looking nice. Currently, we are at 57 degrees Celsius. It is mostly cloudy, but over the day, expect some, clouds here and there. Maybe in the evening at around 3 p.m. Expect maybe a thunderstorm or two. But the temperatures are looking nice. Highs of 76 degrees Celsius. lows of 68 degrees Celsius. Watu wangu wa Eldoret, I cannot forget you. You know, Eldoret is one of my favorite counties. Let's check. Now, Eldoret is looking nice. It is currently at 55 degrees Celsius. It is partly sunny, kidogo kidogo. And then, you know, there's going to be a few clouds here and there, sunshine with a thunderstorm in parts of the area this afternoon, with highs of 76 degrees Celsius and lows of 57 degrees Celsius. That is how our weather looks like today. That is how our weather looks like today. But remember, regardless of the season, God is a God of all seasons. Okay, whether it's raining, whether it's sunny, whether it's cloudy, whether it's windy, whether it's always hot like Wajir is, do not worry. The blessings of the Lord are always sufficient. Okay, no matter the season. Now, let's look at our traffic updates. How do our roads look like? I'm going to start with Thika Road. And allow me to check that. Just a minute. Yeah, got it. Now allow me to start with Thika Road, Thika Super Highway. And I don't know what happens to Thika Road in the morning, especially when you're coming to town. There's always a snarl up somewhere. But let me see how it looks like. So Thika Road, Thika Road right now, it's a little bit, how do I say it? It's a little bit snarly. Let me just say that. But there's a little bit of snarl up. It's starting from Survey all the way to, you know, I think all the way to Ngara, CBD. Yani metufikia hadi hapa. But it's okay. It's moving. Good thing is that it's moving. And, also, it's good when traffic is moving, so be careful out there. Let me see Jogoo Road. Jogoo Road, I'm told it's moving swiftly, though there's a little bit of snarl up pale kwa roundabout City Stadium. Pale City Stadium, there's a bit of snarl up pale City Stadium, but it's moving. It's moving. That's the good thing. There's no major delay. The delay is just you know, kidogo. Ngong Road ndo naona hakukai vizuri. There's a very major delay. And yeah, I'm told traffic police are doing their best, but there's a major delay on Ngong Road, but it's moving. You know, I tell you, the hope is that it's moving. Let me look at Waiyaki Way. Now Waiyaki Way is moving. It's moving. It's slow, but it's moving. There's no major delay. Delay may be ranging from you know, 5 to 10 minutes. So no major delay. So Waiyaki Way is looking good. Watu wa Jogoo Road, it's looking good. I think Ngong Road is the one that is complicated today. Watu wa Kiambu Road, let me see that now. Kiambu Road, there's a little bit of snarl up pale DCI. No major delay. There's no major delay there, but traffic is moving. We do hope that you're going to stay safe on the roads, by the way. And as I always tell you, always be careful of the road users around you. Okay, so those are our traffic updates this morning. Now, before we go for a short break, so that I can call my panel to come and help me get into our newspapers. So remember that I had mentioned that today is a World Down Syndrome Day. Okay, and I want to tell you a little bit about it because we are going to have someone to come and you know, help us talk about awareness and all this. David will come and tell us about this, so do stick around for that part of the interview. The interview is going to be around you know, after the first session, after the newspaper review. David is going to be coming in and he will speak to us about that. But let me just tell you a little bit about Down syndrome and the day. Okay, so World Down Syndrome, that is on March 21st. World Down Syndrome Day is observed annually on March 21st, as I had mentioned, to raise awareness and advocate for rights, inclusion, and well-being of people with Down syndrome. Now, the day 321, that's why I told you I found it a little bit interesting, was chosen to symbolize the trisomy. We call it trisomy 21, the genetic condition where a person has an extra copy of chromosome 21. That is a little bit biological, but that is what causes Down syndrome. Now, the theme for each year, they always have a theme. Okay, so the United Nations and Advocacy Organization set a theme for the World Down Syndrome Day each and every year. So World Down Syndrome Day is observed to raise awareness. I've mentioned that, right? So the theme for 2025 is improve our support system. So improve our support system is emphasizing the need for tailored support that provides individuals with Down syndrome choice, control, and also dignity. Now, this theme calls on the government and communities worldwide to enhance resources, of course, understanding and advocacy to empower individuals with Down syndrome. Now, this day is marked worldwide. In Kenya as well, we have organizations like the World Down Syndrome Society of Kenya, and especially today there is going to be a very a big event to mark the day at the Kenya Institute of Special Needs Education, that is the KISE Institute. That is where the country today is marking the World Down Syndrome Day. So it is something that is that happens each and every day. But to you who doesn't have the condition, so how do you get involved? You educate, learn more about Down syndrome and share more information to raise awareness about this. Advocate, support more policies and initiatives that promote inclusion and support individuals with Down syndrome. Participate, join events, workshops, and online campaigns to show your support for Down syndrome. But mine would be get to learn some of these things so that when it comes to supporting, you know what you're supporting. Okay, we will speak more about that in our interview with David on awareness on Down syndrome. But I want us to take a short break. Then when we come back, we are coming back with our newspaper review. I told you I have two gentlemen joining me today. Someone said that I always bring gentlemen alone. I am trying to change that. I am trying to get the ladies. But today we have Philip and we have Gideon. So do stick around for that paper review. Do not go anywhere. Remember my question of the day: what do you think about President William Ruto government reshuffle? Okay, that is my question of the day. Make sure you text me on our number right there. But do not go anywhere. We are coming back with our paper review in just a bit.
Reverend Mark Keitani and Beverly Mark, together with Mountain of Deliverance Nakuru family, are inviting you for a 2 days of blessings on 22nd March and 23rd March. Guest speaker will be Dr. Pauline Oracle. 22nd, that is on Saturday, we will be having the biggest mega ladies meeting at the Mountain of Deliverance Church Nakuru from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Daughters of Honor meeting hosted by Reverend Dr. Pauline Oracle. And on Sunday, it is a service you cannot miss. First service will begin from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. and the second service begins at 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Main speaker, our guest will be Dr. Reverend Pauline Oracle, all the way from Nairobi. Don't miss these 2 days of blessings in Nakuru City, Mountain of Deliverance, Nakuru.
Fall in love with God is the greatest romance. To seek Him is the greatest adventure. And to find Him, it is the greatest achievement. And that is why I want to invite you to the greatest place where you find this love. This is none other place than Mountain of Deliverance Church, Nairobi. This is where you find people that will make you love God more. We are located along Murang'a Road in Ngara, next to Aqua Plaza building. And behind me is the roundabout of Parklands. When you are right here, you just come straight on your left-hand side and you'll find Fig Tree. And then you'll use the Safaricom Green Footbridge. 150 to 200 meters, you'll find our beautiful church, Mountain of Deliverance Church, Nairobi. Our service begins at 8, where we start with face-to-face with God. The man of God, Dr. Francis Oracle, leads powerfully in face-to-face with God. And exactly 9, our praise and worship takes over. We make sure that the presence is comfortable for everyone. We make sure the presence of God is all over in the praises and worship that are led. And exactly at 10 or 11 there, Mom gets in and start prayer, powerful prayer points for you so that your destiny will take shape.
Anointing under which I serve.
Upako ambao unatumika chini yake.
Anointing under which I serve.
Upako ambao unatumika chini yake.
And I command every evil foundation.
Naamrisha kila misingi mibaya
that has troubled your life.
iliyohangaisha maisha
It
yako.
shall bow today in Jesus' name.
Inakoma leo kwa jina la
I
Yesu.
said every evil foundation.
Kila misingi mibaya.
Under the anointing of this altar.
Kwa upako wa madhabahu haya.
I command that foundation to crumble and to bow down.
And at 11, the man of God takes over to make sure that your spirit man is fed and make sure that your destiny takes a good shape.
Every occasion requires somebody who knows how to say, Father, I thank you.
Kila hafla itaji mtu anajua kusema
A
asante.
thankful heart
Moyo wenye shukrani
is a fruitful heart,
ni moyo umejaa na
is a
mazao.
joyful heart.
So I expect to see you this coming Sunday. Remember, this is where you find love, and love is found at Mountain of Deliverance Church, Nairobi. So see you then each Sunday. God bless you.
And welcome back to Impact Dialogues. My name is Ruth Wanjiru. If you're just joining us, you've not missed much. You've just missed a few updates here and there, but we are here for the main course of Impact Dialogues. And I want us to review our newspapers this morning. And you can see I'm not alone. But maybe before I introduce my panel with me, I didn't get a chance to show you what the dailies are saying this morning. So this is what the Standard looks like. Condemned tyrants. And I think this is a follow-up story from the Standard on Wednesday. If you remember correctly, we are going to look more into that. And the Star this morning speaks about the reshuffle, the PS reshuffle, the one President William Ruto did yesterday. And the Daily Nation is looking colorful this morning. Raila's big harvest. That is how our dailies look like this morning. Tell me which is your favorite if you've gone through them. 0711 176 006. Okay, and now, gentlemen, first of all, welcome so much to Oracle TV. We say the future is here. Maybe if I start with Gideon, you introduce yourself, you say hi to our viewers, and also tell us what you do.
Thank you so much. My name is Gideon Merewe, the current Chief Executive Officer of our Vijana Initiative. I also work with the Universities and Colleges Student Association of Kenya. We work closely with the Ministry of Education. and that is about Gideon Merero. And good to be here. I think it's good morning.
Okay.
Yes.
Philip, salimia watu wetu na waambie umetoka wapi na unafanya nini, wewe ni nani?
Yes, thank you very much. I'm Philip Okech from the founding Secretary General of the University Students Association. As currently at Kenyatta University. I'm a fourth year student pursuing computer science. Yes, currently I'm also the chairman of the County Youth Movement.
Okay.
And also a member of the ODM Youth League.
You're welcome to Impact Dialogues. Now, gentlemen, I know you've seen the dailies. I don't know which one caught your eye. I always like to ask this question kwa sababu kuna yenye unaonanga and then it just looks beautiful to you. So let me start with Gideon. Which one caught your eye? Is it the Standard, is it the Star, or is it the Daily Nation?
Thank you so much. It's not even about what caught my eye, but actually, I think early yesterday evening, basically I already predicted the topic or the discussion of the Gazette today. After what we saw happen, actually the short change of the PSS and also reshuffle. So kind of there was that basically indication that the news will officially be discussing about the reshuffle. So I'm interested and I'll be eager to go through and also analyze it. But that's what I can say. All of it talk about the same subject.
Okay.
Yes.
How about you, Philip?
Yes. What caught my eyes are the happenings of yesterday in the political arena, the PS reshuffle, in the various ministries. Yeah, there I can see Daily Nation talking of Raila's big harvest.
Yeah, Raila's big harvest.
Yeah, that's my party leader. Then the weekend starts talking about the PS reshuffle. Something just running on the same thing. Then I can see the Standard about condemned tyrant.
Yeah, that is the former ICTPS. And I think he was he doesn't have any right now. He was moved to the advisory by the president, but you're going to look into that. But basically what is happening today on the dailies is just about yesterday's happenings. And if in case you didn't get a glimpse of that, so yesterday evening President William Ruto reshuffled his government a bit, and actually we have a few fresh appointees. The Daily Nation has put it right there. We have those who have been moved. Some of those who have been moved are Julius Bitok. So he was the PS for immigration, but he has been moved to basic education. Basic education was formerly held by, Dr. Belio Kipsang, but now Belio Kipsang was moved to immigration. Now, Elijah Mwangi was moved from mining to sport. Now he's the PS for sports right now. Then we have Ismail Madi. Now that one, youth affairs to special programs. Then Teresia Mbaika was moved from devolution to aviation. Then we have Harry Kimtai from medical services to mining. I don't know, gentlemen, do you think that the broad-based government is the base for reshuffling the government, Gideon?
Thank you so much, my good friend, and thank you for giving that clarity. The first thing remained that why have you reshuffled? It's not even about the reshuffling, but the reason of reshuffling. Does that mean that somebody is harvesting? That means that somebody is using an advantage? I was yesterday saying about that. Quite, it is impressive for the youth. I think it's good morning, and I will actually applaud and actually appreciate even the president for nominating one of the youth, 27 years old, Fikirini Jacob, who is just a youth in the coastal region, and I think he has confirmed his leadership. And young he is, he's now among the PSS, and I think since then we are now able to recognize and feel that we have been counted somewhere. But the fact remains that if it's actually we are working with the idea of the broad-based government, we have the other opposition into quotes that I can mention. Are they included in the broad-based government, or it is specifically for other side? So basically that will communicate. Another thing, have seen the PSS being shifted from one ministry to another, or from another state department to another. The fact remains that we need to analyze and see these people, if they are capable, if they have performed. The same way we have actually fired some of the CSS who are not working. I think we also need to see within the state departments who are the bosses, are the PSS, and see how we can stimulate that state departments. Because Actually, PSS are the bosses of the ministries, because you
That's
find
true.
they are the CEOs, they are accounting CEOs. So you find that if we cannot be able to streamline that state entity, you find we'll just be able to rotate on the same circle. So when I mention about that, it's quite alarming, and I think I can congratulate those who have new and they have come on board, because it's an achievement to them, but also question on those who have been transferred, because we need to come into action. Why are you transferring this person to another? Does that mean that what you are called them or even assigned them was not done perfection? That is a question that we need to ask ourselves. It's not even about shifting, but what is the accountability and the reason that we say these people have performed to the best.
Okay, and the question of the shift, Philip, are we having now questions? Why move them instead of just telling us what is the problem? Now, do Kenyans have questions right now on whether they were performing or whether they were not performing? Because some of those who have been reshuffled, for example, when you look at a ministry or rather a state department like basic education and immigration, those are two very different departments. But for Dr. Bello Kipsang, he was holding the basic education, but now he has been moved to immigration. So are we having questions on why reshuffle?
Yes, thank you very much. Of course, the question is there. Why the reshuffling? But we need to understand that this was a political MOU was signed between my party leader Raila Amolo Odinga and the President of the Republic of Kenya, William Samoei Ruto.
Okay.
So the questions are there. For example, someone like Bello Kipsang is someone who has served in NAT, if I'm not wrong. He has served in NAT and he has the expertise that he requires to serve the Ministry of Education. But we are really interested. Why is he transferred to immigration? He has never worked in that ministry since his service to the country. So maybe the government should come out
and tell us why.
I know they will not come out, but understand it is political card they're playing. Yeah, so maybe my party leader.
Okay, and apart from the whole reshuffle, President William Ruto also added more state departments. Now we have public investments has been added, national government. In total, there are 7. Gideon, was there a need for us to add more departments?
Thank you, Ruth. I think I wanted, first of all, before I answer that, just to comment with how my honorable friends has just commented here. I believe he will not be talking in that aspect of a broad-based government, because I've had him, the opposition leader, is his party leader.
Okay.
Now you understand the president is the head. So basically he will have to align with the MOU sign. But the first thing actually, before I comment the new PSS position that has been created, we need to know, was the MOU sign part of the nomination for the PSS actually allocated? That is something that we have to maybe to hear. Another question that we need to ask ourselves is that what contained in the document that was signed by the head of state and the former cabinet secretary, former Prime Minister Raila Amolo Odinga. So that is the question that we need to ask ourselves. We have also seen the new position be created. Wanasema serikali ina nafasi mingi sana. And now, why now? That is the question that I need to ask myself as a young person. Because if at all the voice of the youth can be heard, why did you not include those positions before them? I'm not questioning that. I'm not against that. Of course, I support, because devolution is there to create space and also service delivery to the people. But the question is, why now? We have seen the constitutional, we have seen the justice, we have seen some of the new PSS positions that have been created. Some of them are even occupied by some of the alien politicians who are nominated, who serve in the government, but maybe they were not accommodated. And because right now it's a broad-based government, kuja tukule kegi. And actually that is the question that we need to ask ourselves. But I basically say, why 7? Because I've seen there are 7. Why not 10? Why not 5? Is it only to accommodate the specific? You see, as a young person, I need to ask myself. I've seen the position, and that's why I've even commented from the first point that we have one of the youth who we can proudly say he has been appointed. But the question is, how many of the spaces of the youth that has been created? You see, that is a question that you need to ask ourselves.
Okay, and Philip, over the recent, over the past few weeks, we've had, issues of counties not getting enough funds, the government stretching out its budget. We saw the president sign the supplementary budget for, to help sustain the budget in this financial year. Now, question is, do we have enough money for most state departments? Because these departments are not coming for free. These people need to be paid as well. Do we have enough money to sustain this as a country?
Yes, thank you. Maybe before answering that, if you allow me to comment on the issue of most state departments.
All right.
Yeah, it connects to the question that you've asked. The government, all time, even after the Gen Z protest, you saw them creating more ministries.
Okay.
So I think what the government is trying to do, of which has been affecting us, the youths, they create more state departments to absorb their loyalists, and the loyalists are not even Gen Z, they are not the youths. Yeah. So there's enough money, I believe, as a country. Kenya, we have a very well-performing economy, but the priorities for the money that we have are not for the betterment of our country, as even infrastructure and the betterment of the livelihoods of the Kenyans. So I believe there's enough money, but the president has always been on complaints. He's ever complaining. There's enough money in our country.
Okay.
Yeah, so maybe
And
it is just misplaced priorities.
Okay, Gideon, do you think we will sustain this budget? Because just the other day, the health medics were on the streets. They're asking for more money. We've had county governments saying that they still want more money. Now, we have another one added into the pot. Can we sustain this budget?
My good friend Ruth, when you asked me that question, I will now go back during the new regime that has come on board. Actually, there is a slogan that will remain in record in this country, that they say they find empty coffers. My question is it now that the coffers can accommodate all of us? Because now we are creating spaces for these people. You see, record can go back and we trace where are we as a country. We have actually had the CS for Treasury highlighting for us even the budget process that is there. As a country, are we good? That's a question that you need to ask ourselves. We are saying that our education system is failing because we don't have enough resources, and we are trying to balance. We have seen the strikes of the teachers. We have seen the strikes of the doctors. The question is, why are we creating these spaces if at all we have not been able to manage the spaces that we have right now? By quoting about that, are we able to sustain this entity? Yes, I'll just agree with my good honorable friend here who have just said that yes, the government has money, because if we are creating these spaces, it means that we are able to accommodate.
Okay.
But how are we not implementing the key essential thing that actually we are talking about? That is health. That is actually our standard living that we have in our daily life. We need food. We need education. And actually, they are very critical things that need attention. But at the same time, we are there crying and saying that, yeah, as a government, we don't have this one. I am not speaking on behalf of anything, but I'm just making a clarity, because if at all we are progressing well, we could be having many JSS teachers. If we could be progressing well, we could not be able to have our intern not paid. So the fact remains that, and I'm actually speaking in an angle, not politically. If at all we are in the right stage and we are right position, we could not be complaining of what is happening in the country, but actually appreciating our development, our infrastructure. So the fact remains that there is a lot. We have heard of the Adani. We have heard of what happened recently about the tender process that is happening. So the question is, if at all we are doing well as a country, it means that we could not be able to rely with any other entity, but actually have the sustainability. Now come back to the comment that you have maybe mentioned for me. State department require a lot of resources, because apart from the individual appointed, think of the circle that will come with him, think of the sustainability within that office. So you find it come with a lot of responsibility. The reason is, are we able to manage what we have right now, or we created spaces? And my worry right now as a young person is actually a future that we are going forward for, because how are we able to sustain our movement, how are we able to sustain our future, how are we even to sustain our idea that we have in the future? Because at the same time, if I have an idea as a young person, means that if I'm not well created a space for now, it will just remain in vain. Yes.
That is interesting. And you know, to you who is watching us back at home, President William Ruto has been working with 51 state departments, but now with the ones that are the 51 PSS, sorry, but now with the ones that have been, you know, appointed, the fresh appointments, he will be working with 58 of them. He will be working 58 of them, and according to, you know, history, this is the highest since the promulgation, you know, of the new constitution. And we all know that this happened because of the MOU between, you know, former Prime Minister Raila Odinga and also President William Ruto. So Philip, politically, how does this look for us?
Yeah, so about the first, we have to admit whether I'm part of the government, in the opposition, or just a mere Kenyan, it is not good for us. It is a strain on the taxpayers.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So, but also, if we're complaining that it's a strain on taxpayers' money, we have to give it a second thought. If it meets the requirement of the SDG that we have as a country, if it meets the goodwill of the citizens. Yeah, so, and personally, I think that there are some ministries that should be put together. A lot. So they should go. Personally, I think that they should go back and sit down. I know my party leader is a listening man, is a man of the people. Should go back with the president, and they sit back. They even reduce the ministries to 10. It is a lot.
And I know my question is, Gideon.
Yes.
So with every, let's call it a broad-based government. With every broad-based government, we've also seen in the previous regimes, with every, you know, handshake comes a few things here and there. Now, are we looking at a situation where each and every time we have a broad-based government, new positions are created?
Everybody love peace, and we all love dialogue. Actually, I need to appreciate even the head of state, and actually congratulate him even for calling on board His Excellency, the former Prime Minister Raila Odinga. You see, that one speak a lot, because at the same time we need unity.
That's true.
And at the same time, we don't want quarrels, we don't want abduction even in this country. So if that was the reason, even to curb and reduce all this menace that we have as a country, then I applaud that. But when you ask me about that, now that every regime that come will have to onboard the other party so that we can see how we can be. When we sit together here and I'm not sure of food, I'll definitely not work with you. That is in parabolic form. You see, I'll expect you to give me a bottle of water.
Okay.
And at the end of the day, if you give me and I'm thirsty, I'll go outside, and what do you expect me to talk about? So I think that is what is happening, and to accommodate and ensure that when you step out of this house, you'll be able to mention a good name. That is what is exactly happening. But my worry right now, it's not even about that, but my worry right now, and actually I'm foreseeing in the future, is that we have very intellectual people who have served in different capacities in this country. Maybe right now they are not aligning with the opposition into courts. The other side of the former Prime Minister, whom actually I think we can count as opposition, and even the current regime led by His Excellency the President. But we need to think of the other side, because we have individuals who are very wise. I will mention one individual that when I see it, I was interested to see him whether he was on board. That is His Excellency Kifuda Kibwana, the governor for Makueni. I am not coming from that region, but I can trace his record performance into that region. We have the others actually that we can go ahead and mention who have done very well in this country. But when it comes to a time of sharing, and we can count the success of them, are they on board? You see, there is a lot that we can talk about. So the question is, we are actually onboarding. Every new regime has to onboard new position, has to onboard individuals aligning to maybe the regime that is working there. It's quite challenging. Okay,
and you can get that story on the Star, the Daily Nation, and the Standard. I think they've mentioned it in all the papers. On the Star, it's on page number 4, and in there you can get those who've been reappointed. You know, 13 new ones have been appointed, those who've been shifted, and also those who've been moved Okay, the Star said sacked, but they were not sacked because they're still in government. The Star said sacked, but they're still in government. You can see that. But among those who we are not going to see, as I had mentioned, we are going to see them in government, but not as much. Among them is the former PS ICT, and I think the former PS ICT, we are going to speak about him, Edward Kisiang, in just a while, because he has been in a little bit of a scuffle with the media, but we will look into that. That is, he has been moved from the ICT, and he's going to be an advisor now, and it's not only him. Those who are affected, we have PS Geoffrey Kaituko. He was in the shipping and maritime. So we also have the Shadrach Mongolo, he was in labor, and Peter Tum, he was in sports. James Muhati was also affected, he was in economic planning. We have Abdi Fido, and these are just some of them, just to mention. Now Kisiangani has been named as a senior advisor and a member of the President's Council of Economic, and now Tum, former PS Tum, now will head Kinshasa, that is a Democratic Republic of Congo, as the county ambassador. Now Kombudo has been named as the new deputy head of mission Brussels in Belgium. Yeah, they're still in government, but not in government. But anyway, that is that. But I think among the appointments that was mostly celebrated was the appointment of Fikirini Jacobs in the youth.
Yes.
I think the youth were so happy yesterday. So that on Twitter yesterday, and that is on the Star. Now on the Daily Nation, actually you'll get the story from just the first page, and they go ahead to talk more about it in page number 4. Yeah, page number 4 of the Daily Nation. Go and check that as well. The Standard has that as well. It's on page number, that is page number 4 as well. Yeah, page number 4 of the Standard as well. Those are the major stories today. And because each and every of these dailies Ikona Kisiangi, I want us to speak about him a bit. So yesterday the court, overruled his directive on everyone taking their advertisements to KBC. I don't know what you think about that story, gentlemen, first, before we get into it.
It's quite unfortunate that you see, if you don't sing my song, I will definitely have to dwell with you. I have seen that he is actually promoted to be now the advisor, meaning that he performed more than even before. So congratulations to PS, because actually we celebrate others so that they can also celebrate us.
That's true.
But quite unfortunately, if there is a sector that we can never and actually never imagine, is actually the media. Because I think the safety of our country, the safety of our global arena, the safety of our daily life rely on media. And we need to give media that visibility. We need to give media that freedom. We need to let media express what they want. Because sometimes justice will not be counted without media information. And that is why even the information we are having, somebody could not access even the newspaper we have right now. But imagine they will be able to trace and see what we are talking about. So you find media is something that we need to give them freedom. And just to comment with what court has maybe said yesterday, it's quite unfortunately to hear our PSs or senior government official trying to harass. And I think when we talk about media, it's an area that need a lot of attention, because what happened during the Gen Z movement, some of the media practitioners were attacked live. Apart from even the advertisement or even showing to the public, yeah, we need to grow, because at the same time, media is also another platform that is creating employment. It's actually empowering people with knowledge. And sometimes they say the quality of the decision you made today is relied by the information you consume. So at the same time, for these people to be aware, I think we need not to discuss anything pertaining media harassment or media attention at maybe in the wrong side, but give them attention, because media is one of the platforms that give us freedom. And what happened? It's quite unfortunately what happened in Limuru. I think I saw yesterday. Yeah,
yesterday in Limuru as well.
Was attacked by goons. So you find quite unfortunately, and imagine some of them are even attacking their devices. So, and even clearing the information, not at any time that we even hear some of the individuals saying that they are attacked, and actually even from, and I quote, because I may not be able to rely that information with even officers, some of them delete the information they have. So you find that we are yet behind, and we need to give media that attention, and we need to give media that voice, because at the same time we rely to their information, which sometimes haven't accurately. Yes.
And Philip, what are your thoughts on this? Because the Standard, by the way, I don't know who makes the headline for the Standard, but this guy or this lady, this is what the Standard reads today: condemned tyrant. And this is a follow-up story from last Wednesday. I mean, this week Wednesday. This week on Wednesday they had tagged him an enemy of the press. And that is because there's a deal that the Standard Group was to have, but he cancelled it. So what do you think about this?
Yes, thank you. So maybe to begin by, allow me to say that if we have to talk of freedom and democracy in our country, then the media must be the first spot. Yeah, they must be let free. They should air out what is in the public domain. So I would like to condemn the tyrant,
in quotes, as they call him.
Let me quote the Standard. The condemned tyrant. He should be ashamed of himself, and that's as the youth of this country. Let us not be in support of that. And by just what I would have done if I were the president, he should not hold any office. Because he's trying to sabotage our democracy that we really fought for as a country. So it should not.
Okay. And the court gave its verdict yesterday. Of course, when the PS made the directive, the Law Society of Kenya, the Kenya Union of Journalists, and also the Kenya Journalists Guild, they went ahead to court to dispute that. And so the court quashed his directive yesterday. And among the things that among some of the, let me read some of the pointers in the verdict. So number one, they said that the PS gave himself powers he did not have. He had no authority to direct independent authorities and accounting officers on the procurement service. Then the PS's move was promoting discriminatory exclusion of private media, and also his memo was an affront and a threat to media independence and pluralism in the country. And of course, the directive did not promote competitiveness and transparency. But I think that directive has been dropped, and I think we are going to see fairness. Fairness. We're going to be seeing fairness, but you can get that on the Standard. It's their main story. It's on page number 6. There is something I saw here, and I would like to look for us to look at it before we leave, gentlemen. Now, sharp pain for salaried employees. Now, salaried employees are questioning why they should shoulder the burden of the entire country. So the other day, CS Barasa was in the Senate for questioning, and she went ahead to say that only salaried people are paying SHA. So first of all, what do you think about this? Should this be happening, Gideon? Should the salaried employees just take the burden? Tuseme tunaokoa Kenya.
I don't know in which perspective I should answer your statement.
Okay.
But you find when you say salaried, we have people in the corporate, we have the people in the public sector, we have the people who are doing entrepreneurship, we have the people who are actually running things online. So when you say salaried, am I expecting those who are only receiving their salary from the government or from the private sector? It's quite unfortunately that this is a burden that we are giving ourselves. And why now? I think when actually public participation was happening for SHA, one of the things that was there was actually everybody was going to participate to pay for something. And when you say that again, have you reversed back and think otherwise? That is a question that we need to talk about. At the same time, these people who are salaried, in fact, they are the most people who are crying a lot. In fact, when you come to my pay slip, you find that maybe something that you can only get is rent. And actually let me just even say rent, because at the same time the deduction that is happening, we have housing levy that actually was then a burden, and we talk about. We have actually our NHIF, that is the share that we are talking about. We have others who are paying health, we have the payee, we have the tax. So you find at the end of the day, many people are actually coming to get zero, but we are actually saying that they will get something. They are the people to pay for this amount of money for the sake of the public interest. When and how are we going to account for that sacrifice that they make? So I will say, as a country, because I'm also a patriot, and the country is made by even contributing on the small thing. Yeah, we need to, but we also need to regulate the perfect that fit on our interests. Yes.
And you know, according to a report, the Kenyans are really asking the question of stability or sustainability. You know, if the only salaried employees are able to pay for SHA, because according to that report, and I think it was published in the Star on Wednesday, those who are not salaried only pay for it when they need it. Once they get well, your story imeisha hivyo. So Philip, maybe what should we be looking into to make sure there is sustainability, and also to make sure that these salaried people don't feel as if ni sisi tumebeba mzigo yote?
Yeah. For us to grow our country, it should be a collective responsibility. Yeah, so I might not buy the idea to some extent that all the salaried people should take charge of the whole system. The percentage of salaried people in by the government SRC is around, if I'm not wrong, 5 million. If I'm not wrong. It is a very small percentage. So taking a burden of the 50 million, it will be very hard on them. So the government should think otherwise. Maybe they should even during the budgeting, they should also budget for SHA. Because during the budgeting, you will get that those people who are the unsalaried Kenyans will be paying for the SHA through the budget when they will pay taxes through various media. So I think that SHA is a burden on the salaried people. Yeah, they should reduce it and also spread it out to the citizens.
Yeah, and you know, Gideon, we cannot turn a blind eye to what is happening to SHA. I mean, we've had people complain that some of these people cannot be able to register. We've had a recent case of a doctor who, you know, had a bill of 300,000, but SHA could only afford to pay 28,000 shillings. Now, Gideon, we cannot turn a blind eye to this. Maybe what is it that we are not looking into when it comes to, you know, making sure that this thing is operational?
My friend Ruth, they say, and actually even the Bible say, my people perish because of lack of knowledge. You see, sometime when we are not informed and we are not educated and we have not been able to be prepared, then what do you expect on us? That is why you are able to send your child to school to study, for them to gain knowledge. At the same time, if you are forcing some of the laws that are not well implemented, some of the laws that are not well vetted, it will be a challenge for them even to make the implementation of that. And actually, by questioning that, it's unfortunately that you mention of a doctor, actually whom I heard is just a volunteer at a hospital, but you find he's attending for other people, but when it comes to a point of saving his life, it's quite a challenge. So when you mention about that, I think there is a lot that we need to do in terms of our law legislation, in terms of policy drafting, in terms of what we are making on our daily basis. Because you find that when I just wake up and say this should be a law, and I have not make a consultation whether it fit the interests of the public, whether it fit the interests of the good people of this country, now it's a challenge. About SHA, many people are complaining about that, and we have seen even people from hospitals saying that this thing is not working. And actually the rain started beating us during the first time of implementation. Was the first thing, how many people were fired actually or went home from NHIF being replaced from SHA. So also need to ask ourselves from there, what do you expect from these people who are going home because of lacking spaces? The first thing is mental issues. And after mental issues, they need to come to this hospital. They cannot cater for their bills because they are fired up. So you find we are creating problem for ourselves. And I'm saying that we welcome the idea, we welcome the creativeness, we welcome the innovation, and we welcome anything that actually will flag our country flag high. But the issue is, have we analyzed and see the importance of these things that we are doing? You see, we need to speak from the point of reality, not brushing the things, because at the same time when we make assumption for, it will affect our kids and also the generation that will give birth for. So the fact is, we need to lay a very well foundation to some of the law implementation. And you have a constitution that is working. But you find, in terms of implementing some of the article and also some of the laws that are there, it will keep to be a history. And it's just a written document.
Okay, and you know, Gideon has mentioned something, Philip, about a lack of knowledge. You know, from where you sit and you are in the ground, do you think that enough public participation was made? And if it was not made, maybe what are some of those loopholes that they should look into so they can go back to the grassroots and you know, teach people the importance of paying for this SHA?
Yeah, so to begin by the public participation, we are living in a country where public participation is just a process. It is not implemented. The outcomes. They have always done public participation in various things, but they don't take into consideration the voice of the citizens. So what the government should do about SHA, it's about its reliability. Yeah, when a patient is going to the hospital, he or she should be sure that SHA will cater for the bills. We've seen always in the media everywhere patients complaining. So SHA is not reliable. You can get a time that the whole system is down, and in other hospitals you have to pay first before the administration of the drugs or treatment. So what the government should do first is its reliability. It should be a 24/7 working system. Yes, so that it is not going down anytime.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is interesting. You can get that on, let me see where I had gotten that. Yeah, on page number 9. No, page number 10 of the Daily Nation, I believe. Yeah, of the Daily Nation. Get to know why SHA is a pain for salaried employees, because according to the report here, the informal sector accounts for 86% of the total workforce. At 19 in the whole country, I think the workforce is 19 million. 19 million are the only people who are working, and you can imagine in a country where we have, close to 50 million, 19 million people are having the burden to pay for this. But you can get more of that story on page number 10 of the Daily Nation. My producer tells me that we are running out of time, unfortunately, but do make sure you get these dailies to see what is happening to your country and around you, and especially to see the new faces that you're going to be having in the government. Okay, the new PSs. So I want to give the gentlemen, each one of them, a minute for them to give us their parting shot. Maybe I start with Gideon. You give us your parting shot for today's review.
As I've said, my name is Gideon. The future relies to the young generation that are growing. Our main discussion should not be our daily basis that we discuss, either written or actually people have posted on social media. We need to think of the sustainability of our future. Change will happen when people come together and discuss and reason together. I don't expect disunity to be here when people will not listen together. I'm calling on board all Kenyans. I'm calling on board every individual of good wish to come on board and rescue this baby who is Kenya, and we want to save it. I'm not saying that we are in the worst, but we are in the future to implement our country to progress well. Yes.
Thank you so much. Well said. Philip, what is your parting shot?
Yeah, maybe the word that I can have for us as the youths, because we are already in the future, and we cannot talk of the future without talking of the youth. So I want to tell us every youth that our future is what we make of it now. Let us come out. Where we think there's a problem, let us come out and make the change. I want to thank my party leader Raila Amolo Odinga. He's now bringing youths on board. You can see gentleman Jacob Fikirini is on board. Youth are now on the table to make the hard decisions as a country. So let us come out, let us do this thing together for the betterment of us and even our children. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you, gentlemen, for making it here. We do not take your time for granted. And thank you to you who is back at home for keeping it. I've seen a few comments. There's someone who has said, let me see. Okay, Bernard, tuned from Kajiado, Kiserian. Thank you so much. I see someone else here says, I don't think the reshuffle will do much, but we'll just have to wait and see. Someone else says, yeah, say hello to Philip. I think that's a student in KU. Yeah, but thank you so much, gentlemen, for making it here, and to you back at home. This was our newspaper review. Now we want to take a short break, but do not go anywhere, because we are coming back with that Down syndrome interview I promised you. Remember that today is World Down Syndrome Day, and we are having someone to help us talk about awareness. And a good thing is that he is a parent, so he has the experience of being a parent, and also he understands this well. So do not go anywhere. We're taking a short break. We will be right back.
Nakuru family are invited. Reverend Mark Keitani and Beverly Mark, together with Mountain of Deliverance Nakuru family, are inviting you for a 2 days of blessings on 22nd March and 23rd March. Guest speaker will be Dr. Pauline Oracle. 22nd, that is on Saturday, we will be having the biggest mega ladies meeting at the Mountain of Deliverance Church Nakuru from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Daughters of Honor meeting hosted by Reverend Dr. Pauline Oracle. And on Sunday, it is a service you cannot miss. First service will begin from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. and the second service begins at 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Main speaker, our guest will be Dr. Reverend Pauline Oracle, all the way from Nairobi. Don't miss these 2 days of blessings in Nakuru City, Mountain of Deliverance, Nakuru.
Je, wajua kuwa unaweza kuinua biashara yako kwa kutangaza hewani kwenye stesheni hii? Runinga ya Oracle inakupa fursa ya kipekee ya kutangaza biashara yako na kuiweka katika viwango vya juu kwa kupewa muda wa kutosha wa kucheza kwenye runinga kwa bei nafuu. Iwe ni biashara ya shule, duka la kuuza nguo, duka la jumla, biashara ya kuuza magari, viatu na zinginezo, unaweza kutangaza nasi sasa kwa bei nafuu. Unangoja nini? Wasiliana nasi sasa kwa nambari 0711176006 ili utangaze biashara yako sasa. Oracle Television Network. The future is here.
Fall in love with God is the greatest romance. To seek Him is the greatest adventure, and to find Him, it is the greatest achievement. And that is why I want to invite you to the greatest place where you'll find this love. This is none other place than Mountain of Deliverance Church, Nairobi. This is where you find people that will make you love God more. We are located along Murang'a Road in Gara, next to Aqua Plaza building. And behind me is the roundabout of Parklands. When you are right here, you just come straight on your left-hand side and you find Fig Tree. And then you'll use the Safaricom Green Footbridge. And 150 to 200 meters, you'll find our beautiful church, Mountain of Deliverance Church, Nairobi. Our service begins at 8, where we start with face-to-face with God. The man of God, Dr. Francis Oracle, leads powerfully in face-to-face with God. And exactly 9, our praise and worship takes over. We make sure that the presence is comfortable for everyone. We make sure the presence of God is all over in the praises and worship that are led. And exactly at 10 or 11 there, Mom gets in and start prayer, powerful prayer points for you so that your destiny will take shape.
Anointing under which I serve.
Upako ambao unatumika chini yake.
Anointing under which I serve.
Upako ambao unatumika chini yake.
And I command every evil foundation
Na amrisha kila misingi
that
mibaya
has troubled your life.
iliyohangaisha maisha
It
yako.
shall bow today in Jesus' name.
Inakoma leo kwa jina la
I
Yesu.
said every evil foundation
Kila misingi mibaya.
under the anointing of this altar.
Kwa upako wa madhabahu haya.
I command that foundation to crumble and to bow down.
And at 11, the man of God takes over to make sure that your spirit man is fed and make sure that your destiny takes a good shape.
Every occasion requires somebody who knows how to say, Father, I thank you.
Kila hafla itaji mtu anajua kusema
A
asante.
thankful heart
Moyo wenye shukrani
is a fruitful heart,
ni moyo umejaa na
is a
mazao.
joyful heart.
So I expect to see you this coming Sunday. Remember, this is where you find love, and love is found at Mountain of Deliverance Church, Nairobi. So see you then each Sunday. God bless.
Do you feel powerless to your current situation? Is the weight to expectations holding you down? Listen, there comes a time in every woman's life where she must make a decision. Will you be courageous? Remember, the Bible says that women who fear the Lord, they are clothed with strength and dignity. They can laugh at the days to come. That is why our mother, Dr. Pauline Oracle, is here to encourage, to advise, to mentor, and to educate you in Woman Without Excuse.
The Lord can even call you to take care of the Sunday school. That department, do it with all your vigor. Put both your feet in, your intelligence, and also put all that God has given you in that department. You are the person that knows, how do I maintain this man of God for him to be able to maintain and to take care of the flock of God.
Join our mother, Dr. Pauline Oracle, every Saturday at 8 to 9 p.m. in a special program known as Woman Without Excuse here at Oracle Television Network. The future is here.
God bless you. God bless you. This is Dr. Oracle, Mountain of Deliverance Church, right here in Nairobi. Oracle is currently in Nairobi. Are you aware? We are right here on Moranga Road, right here. We are right on this building. You can see behind me here, Mountain of Deliverance Church, Nairobi. Yes, I want you to be my guest this Sunday. Our services begin exactly 9, but 8 o'clock we are here for a time of prayer, commanding heaven, unlocking the gates of the city, announcing favor upon this altar. This Sunday, I want you to be my guest. This Sunday, I want you to be my guest, and I want to guarantee you, your life will never remain the same. More so, every Wednesday, 5 in the evening, we have our Holy Communion. Our Holy Communion. Every Wednesday, 5 in the evening. And number 3, every Thursday, we have our deliverance service. Our deliverance service every Thursday. You cannot dare miss our Thursday deliverance, where we experience raw power. We experience uncompromised, undiluted word of God, taught by the oracle with all clarity, downloaded from the presence of God. A word that has transformed many, where stubborn curses are eliminated on the spot, where problems are turned into miracles, destinies are repackaged to look like where you're going. This is Dr. Oracle. I want to invite all of you every Sunday, every Wednesday, every Thursday, and our mega power night every Friday. I look forward to seeing you this Friday also. In Jesus' mighty name, amen, amen, and amen. Victory in your life.
Maishani mwako.
You will not struggle financially.
Hautang'eng'ana kifedha.
You will not struggle financially.
Hautang'eng'ana kifedha.
Ninafungua milango ya fedha.
Oh yes.
Milango ya ndoa.
Amen.
Milango ya harusi.
Amen.
In the name of Jesus.
Kwa jina la Yesu.
Your children will not die.
Watoto wako hawatakufa.
May they excel.
Wanawiri.
May they excel.
Na wanawiri.
In the name of Jesus.
Kwa jina la Yesu.
And Beverly Mark, together with Mountain of Deliverance Nakuru family, are inviting you for a 2 days of blessings on 22nd March and 23rd March. Guest speaker will be Dr. Pauline Oracle. 22nd, that is on Saturday, we will be having the biggest mega ladies meeting at the Mountain of Deliverance Church, Nakuru, from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Daughters of Honor meeting hosted by Reverend Dr. Pauline Oracle. And on Sunday, it is a service you cannot miss. First service will begin from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. and the second service begins at 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Main speaker, our guest will be Dr. Reverend Pauline Oracle, all the way from Nairobi. Don't miss these 2 days of blessings in Nakuru City, Mountain of Deliverance, Nakuru.
Call me out upon the waters, the great
Nakuru, are you looking for a way to start your day with purpose and prayer in the presence of God? Mountain of Deliverance Church Nakuru invites you to our morning devotion service every weekday from 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. Experience powerful worship, life-changing teachings with Rev Mark Keitani as we seek God's presence this 2025. Don't miss this divine opportunity to begin your day on a higher spiritual note. Mountain of Deliverance Church Nakuru, your church of choice.
keep my eyes above you.
Are you a young mother wondering where to leave your baby as you go for your daily work? Are you tired of repeated stresses from house girls not handling your baby well? Now I'm coming to you with solutions. At Nakuru Brighton Schools, we have a daycare that offers extremely good care for your baby. We have a daycare that has comfortable beds, good environment, serene atmosphere for your young jewel, for your young angel. Enroll with us and enjoy working at your comfort without stresses of how could your baby be, did she sleep during the day, did she develop a fever or something like that. Join us at Nakuru Brightshine and have stress-free life of working to build the nation and even to care for your child. At Nakuru Brightshine Schools, we are not just an ordinary school. We are the best school in Nakuru town, offering opportunities for learners from playgroup, PP1, PP2, and grade 1. At Nakuru Brightshine School, we have so many activities for your young learner. We even have an extracurricular activity where young learners are even taught sign language. How is that, my viewer? By enrolling your child to the best school where the foundation of their academic journey matters the most. Aside academia, our classrooms are well built. Each class is carpeted, making sure that your child will not be messing around in the dust or on the ground where the floor is very cold. I wish to extend an invitation to you. Our admissions are still in the progress. Feel free to visit our school in Nakuru, free area right opposite Blankets. We work from 8 to 5 p.m. I'm looking forward to meeting you as we engage more to admit our learners to the best school in the city. Nakuru Brightshine Schools, remember, we are destined for excellence.
Good morning and welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is the Impact Dialogues. You've missed the newspaper review. You can always go back to check, by the way. But here is that interview I promised you. Now, just to make a few pointers here and there. Today is 21st March, and today we mark the World Down Syndrome Day. Yeah. And with me here, I have David Mbau. He is a parent, of course, and an inclusion a champion. He will help us talk about awareness. How do we create awareness for, children living with Down syndrome, children that have these conditions? Because even there are some grown-ups that have these conditions as well, I believe. So that is what we are getting into. I would appreciate as many questions as possible on 0711 176 006. And not only that, because today is their inclusion day, I would appreciate your, messages, supporting them. It is good to support them and wish them a happy Down Syndrome Day. And we say that the only way you can do that is by learning first what is Down syndrome, so that you can be able to support them more. So David, first of all, welcome to Oracle TV.
Thank you.
Yeah, we say the future is here. And before we start, maybe you introduce yourself, tell us what you do, who you are. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. This is my definitely first time to be here.
Definitely.
So asanteni sana, and thank you for giving us this platform on this day.
Yeah,
I know it is our day, but the platforms are yours. So thank you for giving us this platform.
Okay.
So as you heard, my name is David Mbau. A father to two lovely girls, a 16-year-old, going 16-year-old who's called Tumaini, who has Down syndrome, and her sister who is 8 years old, who we call typical, not normal, typical. Yes, note that. Underline.
Typical.
Yes, typical. So. I'm partly some of the things that keep me busy in order of priority. First off is matters to do with special needs. I found myself on this journey, but along the way I felt the journey chose me, and then I chose it back. So I decided I chose it back. So we chose each other. So I embraced the journey. So part of the main thing I do now is disability inclusion championing and advocacy. Then followed by a few other things to put shillings in my pocket, like I farm, and I'm also just a bit into transport. So that's just a bit about me.
Interesting.
Thank you.
Amazing. And now today is the World Down Syndrome Day, and actually I was looking into it, and it's funny why they decided to put it on March that the 21-3. So apparently it's the way the chromosomes are. Told you it's a little bit biological. For those of us who didn't do biology, by the way, you're in a Peter too. But today being a World Down Syndrome Day, maybe let's start off by what are you proud of mostly for this day?
Yes, before I just jump in there, let me just clear that up, that it is the 21st of March.
21st of March, yeah.
Yes, because normally, and I say typically, a typical person has 46 pairs of chromosomes. So Down syndrome then is a genetic condition that is caused by an abnormal cell division, that causes then the 21st pair to be 3 chromosomes instead of 2. So that is what then causes it to be the 21st of
21st of March. Yeah, I didn't understand that well.
So that's why it even we call it sometimes T21.
T21.
So it's trisomy for the 3 chromosomes. So it's trisomy 21. Okay. So yes. So back to some of the things I do. What I appreciate. I'm appreciative about.
Some of the things you're proud of today.
Yes. So there's plenty. There's plenty I celebrate today. Obviously, starting because the day is about Down syndrome. I am elated, and I'm so happy to have done 16 years with my daughter Tumaini. It's not been easy. So when you have a hard journey and you look back and you see how far you've come, that's something to be proud of. So I'm very proud about that. Also never forgetting about her sister Imani. So I never just talk about her, and sometimes we end up excluding her because maybe we shine the light on the one who has Down syndrome. So I'm proud that I'm a father to two these lovely girls. I'm happy to be in a nation where the Constitution is cognizant of persons living with disabilities. Not where we want to be, but we're in a good place. We're not where we started. We're not where we want to be, but we are on the journey. So I'm appreciative, though there's plenty of change that we like to see. And I'm also appreciative that I'm here today representing my fellow parents.
Okay, that's amazing.
There are many awesome parents out there. Let me tell you, I am honored to just sit here on their behalf. They are heroes out there, I tell you.
And maybe for someone who's back at home, they don't really understand. Maybe they are coming across Down syndrome for the first time today. Someone maybe does not know how this condition looks like. What is this condition? So what is Down syndrome, David?
Yes, so like I said, and please just bear with me because I'm not a medic, yeah. So I'll just throw the words that come to me, but I have an idea because I've been on this journey. So like I said, Down syndrome is a genetic condition. Okay, the medics call it a disorder because then something is out of order, and like I mentioned, it's the 21st pair of chromosomes that ends up having 3 of them, which come then from the abnormal cell division. Okay, so what happens is that you can either get a full copy of the chromosome to join the other 2, or you can get a partial one, just a part of it. So then it breaks out into 2 branches of Down syndrome. Okay, so number one, why Down syndrome? Why is it called Down syndrome? So Down syndrome, this is awareness just kicks off from here, just from the name itself. Down syndrome is not because anything is down. Like hakuna kitu iko chini. You know, like that's not it. So the first awareness for today, even as I explain what Down syndrome is that it is the person who discovered the condition, who was called Downs, Langton Down. And so then it was just credited to him. So it initially started off being called Down syndrome, you know, like Ruth's thing, you know, because she found it. So it was called Down's syndrome because he discovered it. But over time, just with labeling and things, so we call it now, it's preferably just called Down syndrome. Okay, so that's the condition. So some of the things to look out for, if you're new to Down syndrome, is that it is genetic, like I said, so you cannot do anything about it. The child already from prenatal already has the condition because it's genetic. It's right from the time the 2 cells start joining. So the only thing that now with developments that have come up is that there's testing that can be done during the pregnancy to ascertain and to pointers can point to Down syndrome. So that's something that has come up over the maybe past decade or so, because I remember by the time, that was what, like 16 years ago when I got to Maini, that testing was there, but it was rare. It was rare. I had to do it in South Africa. But now it is available. So that's one of the things you can test. So for those who don't catch it, and in Kenya, the majority are the ones who don't catch it. Not because they don't want to catch it.
That's because, what you're talking awareness.
Because the medical, just that reach. Even that test is not cheap. So very few don't catch it. So most of us, like myself, I caught it at birth. Yeah. So some of the things that I got to know, because I mean it got me. No one is brought up being taught to look out for Down syndrome, or to look out for a special needs child. No one. There's no class like that. You know, both in class and at home and anywhere. So it just also shocked me, and I found myself there. So I got to learn that some of the things are the features to look out for in the baby. You can see the children have like a roundish head, and then they have very small ears, and then their facial features, their eyes, is what we call Chinese eyes.
Oh, the small eyes.
Yeah, the small Chinese eyes. Okay. Now I know when I say Chinese eyes, now guys are like, oh, now I get it. So, the small eyes, and then the round face, chubby cheeks, you know. Sometimes the tongue sticking out, and the tongue sticks out because then the other thing is that the cavity of the mouth is smaller.
All right.
So because it's smaller, then the tongue doesn't have space to stay in. So people, when you see the tongue sticking out, imagine that child, the cavity for the mouth is smaller. So even when you keep thinking, why is the tongue out or why can't they put it in, there's no space.
Okay.
So those are some of the things. The hands, the fingers are chubby and short. They don't grow to be very tall.
Okay.
There's a lot of weight gain as they grow up. But initially, when they're very small and they're infants, then what we call is, we call the baby a floppy baby.
All right.
Because then it's like their bones are like rubber. So they're very, you know, they're very, very, very soft. And so even the muscle tone is not developed. They have very low muscle tone at that point. And that is why then the first thing to then jump into is physical therapy, which then you need to. So those are some of the main things that stick out. So if you see those features, then physically you can then suspect, and then you can get confirmation from a medic. There are more medical things that you can get if you go forward.
All right. And now speaking from you know, the seat of a parent, because you've raised a child who has this condition, has the society been helpful or appreciative towards the people who are suffering from this?
I am trying to be politically correct, but
Politically
there's no way.
correct.
There's no way. I must say that it has not been easy
Okay.
because of this big word called stigma.
Stigma.
Yeah, and guess what? There wouldn't be any stigma if one thing wasn't there. If there was no society, then there wouldn't be any stigma.
True.
So that says a lot. Then stigma stems from society, okay? Because then it's a hard place to be in as a parent. The one thing I say is that the child who has the condition themselves, yes, they have the challenge of actually going through it, but they don't have the stress of understanding what they're going through.
Okay.
You see, so the parent understands. So that's why you're more stressed. And we look up to society to hold our hands. And if you look at our context as the African culture, and one of the things I pride myself in as an African is that one of the things we are richest. I think I don't think we are the richest when it comes to matters social living, you know, compared to any other culture. I mean, the Western cultures, any other culture. I think Africans are the richest when it comes to that. And now, just speaking from that aspect, then we always say that mtoto si wako. Unajua, the child is
for the society.
Yeah, it's for society. Mtoto ni wa village yote, you know. But then this is the one place where then that is never seen. You know, in the place unaambiwa, mtoto sasa, this is not for the village. This is yours. And in fact, it's not just yours. This one now, something else also comes with this one, because they don't understand, and they, by not understanding what's going on, then they tend to exclude you. And so social support is one of the biggest supports we need in this space. So it's not been very easy, but initially I used to be I used to have a very heavy heart and not very nice words for society. But as the years have gone by, I have come to understand, to actually try and put myself in their shoes, and also understand they're also coming from a place of lack of awareness. You know, and when you don't know something, then you tend to fear it, and you don't know what to do about it. You know. So in hindsight, I can say that society just needs awareness, then to warm up to being, to give us that support that we really need, which is very crucial. And not just the parents, the children themselves really need that support, because I don't think any child, whether it's a special child, a child with special needs,
a child with special needs.
Sorry, comma. Detour.
And I quote.
Detour. Again, we don't say, again, this is awareness. Awareness is just streaming from every line. So it is not a special child. Okay? It is, the special does not describe the child. It is descriptive of the condition, of the need. Okay, not the condition, the need. The need is special. So we say a child with special needs. Just so we can say a child with hard needs, with easy needs. You get? So it is the special is just descriptive of the need,
Of the
because the need is unique.
Okay.
And it is not special in the sense of now this is the top best person, best need. It is just a unique need. So that's the other thing that awareness really needs to go out on, because it's really, I think also society also looks at it from an angle. Even me, I will look at, sometimes I put myself in their shoes and I'm like, why do they think they're more special than us? You get, and it makes sense. It makes sense, but sometimes even some of us in this space, like parents, I think we also need some awareness also when it comes to some of those words, because especially if you're bringing up children and you have one child with a special need, it is very easy to then sideline the others, because they'll grow up thinking they're not special and the others are special.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you know,
So-
speaking from a point of, you know, the way the society perceives this, so maybe, and we are speaking awareness and inclusion, so maybe what are some of the things that we need to do to make sure that the society is included in this? Because when we